Okay, this video is to help you with your life processes internal and is your introduction to excretion. When we talk about excretion, please understand that excretion is actually very different to egestion. Okay, egestion is about getting rid of undigested food, specifically as feces. Feces, poo, what for that term, is not produced in metabolism, but it's in the gut cavity. So in your small intestine, your large intestine, your colon, and it basically leaves your body. Your guts are an extension of the outside world. Literally, you've got a hole in your mouth and a hole in your bum, and everything goes through and out. Okay. Whereas when we're talking about excretion, we're talking about metabolic wastes, things that your body has actually produced as a consequence of its cellular processes. Now, the removal of those waste products is excretion. Okay, so when we go through these two things, the thing that we need to be mindful of is that the waste that we're getting rid of are toxic. They need to be removed, otherwise they're going to cause harm. So we have to get rid of them. Now, the two main processes that produce wastes are respiration, which produces carbon dioxide as a waste, and deamination, which that produces urea. Okay, it produces urea specifically when amino acids are deaminated. Okay, so if we think specifically about deamination, okay, what you're going to have is dietary proteins, so food that you've eaten, okay, things like steak or beans, and they're going to be broken down by digestion. Those proteins will be broken down into amino acids. The same will happen with your body. Your body will produce various proteins that will be left over from various cellular activities, but they'll be broken down and they will be amino acids. To deal with those amino acids, there's some toxic elements that need to be removed from them, specifically the nitrogen containing part. So they undergo a process called deamination, and that does two things. One of the things that it does is it causes ammonia to be produced. Now, for mammals and particularly for humans, ammonia is extremely poisonous and it's toxic and it needs to be dealt with pretty quickly. And that ammonia is immediately converted into urea, which is far, far less toxic. The other thing that's produced by deamination is organic acids. So let's say you've got, I don't know, you've eaten some steak and it's been broken down into amino acids, and you've got more protein than you could possibly need to be doing anything with, and it's just sitting there. That protein will go through, those amino acids will go through deamination. That will result in them being turned into ammonia and urea, but also into organic acids. Those organic acids can be converted into glucose for respiration. So at that moment, you're seeing how you can actually use something like a protein to be able to generate glucose that you're going to need for respiration that will allow you to get energy from your food. When that respiration happens, you'll produce carbon dioxide and water. And right there we have it. We've got carbon dioxide, we've got water, we've got urea. And we've produced three big wastes that are going to need to be removed from the body because left to their own devices, left to accumulate, they'll be toxic and that will cause problems. The other source of waste, as I've said, is respiration. So you obviously have your anaerobic respiration and your aerobic respiration. When we talk about aerobic respiration, you've got your glucose, you've got your oxygen. That glucose has come from your various sources. Potentially it's from deanimated protein. Potentially it's from some short chain or some long chain carbohydrates that have been digested and broken down. Regardless, they'll react with oxygen. That glucose and oxygen producing carbon dioxide and water and energy. That carbon dioxide also needs to be excreted. The main way it will be excreted will be via the lungs, where it will be carried back by the blood to the lung tissue and gas exchange will occur and it will leave the body. Water primarily will be excreted in two ways. One, there'll be excess water being removed through the kidneys and the excretory system. Another way that water can be lost is via sweat through the skin. So we'll talk more about the water loss specifically in the excretory system as relates to the kidneys in subsequent videos.